all sports, you pigs.
The Jim Rome Show podcast.
What's your beef?
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Andre of the Savages.
Let's think about this. I'm glad you brought this up because even in the first film, what are they doing? Apollo is trying to find somebody to help me get this show off. We're not planning on this dude winning. That's not even in the thing at all. Every now and again, I feel like somebody says F the program.
Black and White Sports. Weekdays 4 to 6 on 100.7 The Ticket. His Store and More, the Man Superstore Studios. This is 100.7 WQQO HD2 Sylvania, Toledo, a Cumulus Media station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Live coverage of the first round of the PGA Championship rolls on ESPN. Justin Thomas and Xander Schauffele 2 shots off the lead at the PGA Championship. Scotty Scheffler is 1 back. Following his opening round 74, Rory McIlroy finds himself 7 off the lead. The Pistons facing a bit of a dilemma with their primary big man ahead of a must-win in Game 6 of their second-round NBA playoff series against the Cavaliers tomorrow. What to do about Jalen Duren? He's had a lackluster postseason so far, was kept off the bench in OT in last night's loss. ESPN NBA analyst Kendrick Perkins.
He's asked to do something that he wasn't ready for. He's not ready for this moment. He's asked to be a Robin to Cade Cunningham in a crucial part on the biggest stage in the postseason. He's not that, but he's only 22 years old. He's going to learn and grow from this.
Pistons Cavs Game 6 tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio, followed by Spurs up 3-2 at the T-Wolves in Game 6. Baseball, Mariners catcher Cal Raleigh on the injured list with a right oblique strain. First time in his career that he's landed on the IL.
Hey, it's resident Super Bowl champ Chris Candy coming up Friday. Anthony Edwards is facing a must-win Game 6. I'll tell you why I'm confident in him getting it done. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
You're listening to Black and White Sports, where there is no gray.
He's the voice of the Toledo Walleye and the Toledo Mud Hens. He is none other than the one and only Mr. Matt Melzak. Good afternoon, sir.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. How are we?
The Walleye Comet situation.
These two teams are so identical. They play very similar styles. So I think the X factors to me is going to be the netminders and whose goaltender makes some big time saves at certain points of games when they need it. And to me, it'll be the special teams as well. These two teams were 1 and 2 in the playoff or in the regular season power play. So if one of those can get hot for either side, if Toledo's power play gets hot in this series, they're probably going to win the series. If it's Fort Wayne's, they're probably going to win the series. It's just such a very similar group both ways that I think this is going to be a very difficult series to predict or to tell what's going to really happen.
Weekdays from 4 to 6 on 100.7 The Ticket.
78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Even high earners, over 60%, have under $1,000 saved. But a new money move is making way. Welcome to the 24K Life, created by financial performance coach Derek Gant. The 24K Life is where high achievers master their money, sharpen their mindset, building unshakable confidence and wealth. If you're done with the survival mind and are ready to thrive, visit 24klife.org. The 24K Life. Be your best. Get the best. Leave nothing to chance.
You're listening to Black and White Sports, where there is no gray.
I mean, they're there, and trust and believe. Watch this. As much as we would like to say we don't know if we could really look seriously at the Raptors, what you do know is that Cleveland will ultimately pull a game or two away in this series by their own merit, whether it be poor decision making, where there's excessive turnovers, where they're inept from the foul line, and some other dereliction of duty that we know that the Cleveland Cavs will put on display.
Black and White Sports, weekdays from 4 to 6 on 100.7 The Ticket.
Black and White Sports is now.
Trust and believe. It's something totally different. One of the best either. And y'all can stop that.
Dre says he's the best on the mic.
Dr. Dre is a Fed, and so is Snoop. We covered this. Everybody for Dre and Snoop is dead or was locked up. don't care what Dr. Dre said.
I'm just reporting.
Dr. Dre was wearing women's shoes before it was fashionable to do it as a guy.
Toledo's sports leader, ESPN 100.7 The Ticket.
Yo, I know you're kind of busy just now, but I want to tell you some things I never told you. I know sometimes I act stupid and I say stupid things, but you kept me around, and other people would have said, drop that bum. You give me respect. You know, it's hard for me to say these kind of things because that ain't my way. But if I could just unzip myself and step out and be someone else, I want to be you. You're real hot.
If the papers knew we were talking like this, they'd think we was crazy. Why you?
Because I'm the best and you need somebody to teach you different. You may not understand what I'm talking about now. I can appreciate that, but you will when it's over. Believe me. You will when it's over. You think I don't have any more?
You got nothing more to prove, do you?
Look, man, this is the opportunity of a lifetime.
I got a lot of more. Come on. Here we go again.
And we wish to show the American press a small portion of the advances.
What does all this do to enhance performance?
It makes a man a better man. A great athlete, a super athlete. Though most of the world is ignorant.
It's showtime! It's showtime!
Come on. You wish to educate your country.
In great spirits tonight. He's really putting on a show for this capacity crowd.
Shall we have a demonstration?
Please do.
As you can see, the result's quite obvious. Whatever he hits, he destroys.
Now you're gonna have to go through hell.
That's what we're doing today. We on the this boy got me in here with the Roxanne Shante, y'all, today. Things to do Thursday. I think that's what this is. Okay. It's old school. Yep. Josh damn fool. Why? This is cool. When you think about it, it's time to drool. What? Over the things you say. Who we talking about? That dude Andre. I don't even know what I'm about to do. Come through. Okay. Woo woo. Now, let's begin. How about that 3 team? Friends, give that to you. Help the people. That's all right. We chill at the steeple. Yeah. We got smoke. We got the jokes. We got the lokes. Talking to the folks. What's going on, people? Okay. It's Thursday, Josh. I had to do something with it. You had me feeling like 86 right there. You're silly. Good afternoon, man. What's up, people? Josh, everybody. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
You see, Josh, do you ever notice how I do the clutch maneuvers? You know how Skip Bayless would say clutch gene? Yeah. You see, I'm a clutch gene, Josh. I'm a clutch genist. Are you seeing this? How many years of this do I need to show you, Josh?
Well, you know how to deliver in the clutch. That's all I'll say.
Thank you. That's all I'm trying to get you to say. 877-909-1007, people. Welcome. It's a good day. It's a lovely day. It looks like, I don't know if it's really warm or not. It's kind of, but then it felt like it was chilly. Put on a jacket or something. So, breaking out. Work is wrapping up. Thank you for being with us. It's called Black and White Sports. Fastest $1.20. We're going to do it quick. We'll be in and out. But we are here until 6 p.m. So thank you guys for doing it with us. And it happens Monday through Friday. Glass City, what's going on? You can lock in with us. Facebook, we have a strong contingent there. We think it's a solid, we got the general counsel, Josh. So, that's like a good 5-6 cats there.
Yeah.
On the whole total.
Our version of the Justice League.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. And they usually have a lot to say. So shout out to them at Black White Sports. That's Facebook Live, how we do that. Also, too, you can find it YouTube, Savvy Television. It's going on live there. There's going to be some extensions to this soon. It is going to get really heavy, really fast. I think I can say that to you all with some confidence. So look for more avenues for product and things. gonna be putting more samples and things out into the streets. But radio heads, thank you. 100.7. That's FM, ESPN here in the Glass City. And they do it state to state online by going 1007theticket.com.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Josh, I think, man, like I said, I was in there. I think I slipped that in there. I think did we do 3-0 with the thing? I think at the end of the show, Josh, we should probably check that to start. Welcome, everybody. I mean, it's a few things. You know, we're going to do it in NBA and the whole shot. I got a few things, though, today. Not necessarily off kilter, but not completely, off in this, the playoff frame, NBA, Stanley Cup stuff. But, we will do it. And also, too, Josh, I think I'm starting to realize how serious the Avs are. I mean, it's not that I guess I'm like extra late to the party because, again, Steve Taylor did try to tell us.
I mean, the Avs reflect their nickname. They bury the opposition come playoff time, not just regular season.
Bro, that was real. Did you watch? I'm assuming, did you watch that? I know you probably watched that.
Yeah, I watched the I watched it. I did watch the tail end of the third period when they had the extra man advantage and they tied it up and went to OT and they fished off the Wild.
Yeah. Oh, man. But no, listen. Hey, I see what it is now, I think. And people, we still may be able to get value on the Colorado situation. We'll explain. All right. So, we'll do a few things. Malik Neighbors in here today, which is why I don't like what it says. So we'll have to check the Giants draft ledger in totality because it looks like perhaps they knew something, because if they made plans for this and concessions, we got that. Yep, that. Again, back to our guy, Big Perk, Josh. Just when I get to, using Big Perk around here as an ally, he lets me down.
I mean, I liked him better when he was just a player for the Celtics and being a key component. I mean, who gave the guy the right idea to become a media head?
Well, somebody came up with it, Josh, and so here we are. But
just proves that anyone can be in media.
He cracked me. He cracked me right in the dome, man, with this nonsense. But this type of stuff is exactly why we get to make jokes, why we get to take shots, and why we get to essentially level a certain brand of disrespect in the comedic form with King. Because now apparently Kendrick Perkins and LeBron James are getting along better because you can usually gauge it with the conversation that's going over the air. And so I had a comment here I didn't really take very kindly to, and I thought we would address it. But nonetheless, we got that. The Walleye Game 3. Melzak is here today. It's a Thursday. You know how we do that, except he'll be in here a little earlier, Josh. It's game night, so he's traveling to Fort Wayne situation, the whole shot.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll do that. NFL schedule is on deck. Let's get an impression here, man. Let me not even, because I need to move it along a little faster. Plus, I wanted to ask you, we talked about last night and the whole deal. All guests brought to you by He's in the building. I always like to see this is really what you need anyway. This is the whole groove of the thing. I don't even know why we have to do so much with the actual OJs and them damn vocals. I mean, what do you want? Just get the people moving. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care how old your people get. As soon as you hit that. But see, this is what the young people need to know. When you make a song, that's how you make a song. Where now, granted, we gotta have lyrics have to be substantial in every case, yes. But Monty, you know how. Listen, most songs that are the ones we're still playing. You a DJ, you know exactly what I mean when we refer to something timeless, and it's before somebody even says a word. It's already gone. You know what I mean?
You already know.
The party's gone. The concert is gone. If they close the show, the whole thing is electric, right?
When you hear Frankie Beverly go, dun, 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 dun.
Hey, they going. But I mean, it's a lot of them. And listen, our white family, you have it too. It's certain things, man. Listen, they're getting moving when they hear it. As soon as it comes on, we are rushing the situation, and so that's what you want to shoot for. You go timeless. Now, all you can do as an artist from there is trick it off. With
Right.
whatever you do, when the lyrics do come, you know what I mean? It's got to be right, and that's what you want. A lot of times, some days, and it's been some times I saw the people like, they start talking, and that ruined. But not to say that's the OJs there. We just appreciate the groove. Monty Features coming through the door, everybody, as he
Yes,
does.
sir.
Man, so listen. Okay. Yesterday, I don't know what I'm supposed to necessarily do with the situation. I don't know I didn't want to go too far with the celebration, Monty, you know what I mean? But I feel like this should be a demonstration of exactly. I feel like you've done nothing but do me a favor. and we want to congratulate Monty, everybody, if you guys want to know what I'm talking about. Yesterday, or if you hadn't been around. So Monty gives us a theory that basically amounts to Cleveland Cavs win 3 in a row. And this is what we have had happen.
I'm gonna tell you what I thought was interesting. Do you remember who I told you was the only Piston that I was a little bit afraid of yesterday?
In terms of like in shaking it up and then being able to, I'm trying. Well, let me not really. I'm in here trying to guess now. Like,
So I told you the only Piston that I was afraid of yesterday was Duran, and then he doesn't play the fourth quarter at all.
They snatch him out the. Listen, man. As much as and here's the thing, I came out of this really feeling like today, if you made me pick like right now, I'm leaning. Shout out to my man, Coach Von Graffine, and him saying, Cavs in 6, but he does that. He's a Cleveland guy. He always, he gonna say it, whatever. But nonetheless, I'm still feeling like he might be right the way they did that, because people definitely gonna bet that the Pistons might even come to Cleveland, maybe get the game back, and I still think that's kind of where we are now because of the way that was handled last night. Because obviously the people have the problem. We can go to the tripping call and do the whole thing. I mean, it kind of is what it is. When they give me the material to bring right to the show, I can only say I appreciate it.
Right.
You all saw last night. So when I say this now, what it leads me to saying to you, sir, is that I would be calm if I'm a Piston fan if they knew it and weren't caught up in the drama and theatrics of all of this. Yeah. Because last night Cleveland was winning the game. And you saw that because, again, I don't know how else to put a lot of sauce on that. You know what I mean? It just, the people saw the outrage, but did they come back and debate it this morning? And they talk about it in a lot of funny ways. People let it go. We move on, but they complain. A lot of people got cracked probably last night. And now, again, you'll probably jump on the Cleveland Express because, Monty, it's important that they win right now, because you'll say Donovan Mitchell, who's never been this close to being in a substantial position in a postseason in his career. And so yet he stands on the doorstep and the precipice of being able to now be considered along with the great players that he considers himself being. Here's an opportunity. Then you have your guy. There's the beard, and then he's here with the entire thing on his back, which we've already heard and seen. And what he say? What chatter? Okay, well, that chatter, fool, and it's still there. And we're still waiting for the pooterific moment that could emerge here, which is what I'm saying. Everybody be still in Cleveland, because them boogeyman Pistons could come out, and like you said, Monty, they're going to hang it on Duran not necessarily playing well, but now we just saw Duran play well enough to get us in the advance, of the series before. And so just everybody be cool, man. Is all I'm trying to say, like with all of that, man. But that's all. Good call out of you, though, still, at the end of the day.
Yeah. And like I said, after those 3, now it's up for grabs. It's up for grabs now.
That's what I'm saying. And that's the point of all of this. So that the people, again, I just wish the people wouldn't act crazy and act ridiculous, because it's a reality that feels like it's not real, or whatever you tell yourself. People that don't believe, and I'm saying this to those listening to this Black and White Sports, everybody. So we're really big around here on the whole, the betting perspective of all of this and how it pertains to the general conversation of sports the direct and specific effect that is a part of everything that's going on here. So we want everybody to be aware of this, be advised. Our show centers around that quite a bit, and sometimes the conversation will be right in the spirit of what is happening with the money, so to speak. You'll hear that quite a bit. And so last night, all of it. I'm just pointing to last night. It's the last one on deck, and we have a little break this evening. Certainly, the doubleheader tomorrow is highly theatricized, Monty. You see what I'm saying? Look at Friday night. It's a Friday night NBA. That's like having the doubleheader as Centennial Hall, fool. I didn't say Savage Hall or Arena. Centennial Hall. Where my Glass City heads at, really? Now, right now, I never take my own name off the mantle, but I want to take it there. Centennial Hall, doubleheader. Let me see. Could it be? We might have a St. Francis. Let me see. What if it was like a Todd Mitchell, St. Francis, Colin Parker, and these boys? Right, we got them, and let's say, and it don't matter. But I got they're playing a Scott, Scoop Williams Scott, John White Scott. That's what the game is. Centennial. This is what we doing, NBA, right? And then hold on. Then that's the early frame.
Early game, right?
Don't be playing in the parking lot game. Why was you trying to be that cool over there trying to sip all down at the Peacock right quick and think you're going to run up Bancroft right quick and shoot it here? By the time you get down to St. Francis, the log jam, the traffic jam has begun. You down there at the corner of Bancroft and Upton. There's officers out there. They're out there.
You like, I want to go this way. They're like, no, come on this way.
Shout out Anthony Moore and Darren Kaiser. Them boys out there, they wait. You late. That's the first game. Then the second game, we got, let me see. Then we got, who was a great one, Monty? Let's see. We need a great, I feel like I want to.
Them Libby boys, them late Libby boys were punking them.
Oh, the 99. Okay, fine. You can have, okay. Who would I throw them even? I might even, since we're doing this, and I could have went a lot of places right now. I'm thinking maybe because they went down to the state. I'm gonna go Brian Robertson, BJ, and Zach Hilston with that game. That might be the night framer. You know what I'm saying? Then since we're doing that, but anyway, we tripping. We could do a lot with that one. We might do something and put, but nonetheless, the NBA has us jammed up. You got the 2 games. The series have come to. And you got elimination games here. So then I'm thinking like, damn, what if they get both of these teams out of there? You get Minnesota out of there. You get Detroit out of there. I don't think people would bet that if you were asking them, who are you going to pick? Pick 2 of these. I doubt if that's see, it makes me scratch my head. And that's the point. And then you could still potentially have game 7s, which we really haven't. We haven't necessarily gotten the most drama out of the game 7 idea, so what are they going to do? And so that's the thing. And again, everybody, even still, the fact that they've been seeing it and probably think, they know you have no choice but to tune in, and we just try to correlate all this for you, everybody. And so, salute to the fact that who was going to bet the Cavs win 3 straight? You were just giving Detroit the game at home again. It would but this is what happened. Eminem showed up
and 50, right?
50 is making the karma bad. I want to roll with him because that's my guy, but he makes it hard for me to. There's nothing I can do if he acts up. So yeah, they were there. I didn't like that part. You know what I mean? You didn't need that. Eminem. See. Don't come in a front-running move. That was right along the Russell Wilson work. See, because you're not there. Now, if Eminem was just all at the game, then cool. See, then that doesn't do anything. If I play for the Pistons, if I'm Cade and man, Go ahead, M, with that. But see, they got you scared to say that. No, M, go ahead, man. Because we haven't seen you. Now, if we see you, every time I look up at the foul line, if I see you, okay, we'll welcome, Uncle Curtis, and he can come in. We probably like him anyway. We don't necessarily trip, because they could say, he got his thing on and his hookup is hot. You know what I'm saying? They could say in a relative manner because he got things and out here that when he speaks, the meter moves. We're not moving around for Eminem right now.
Hey, you only get one shot.
Yeah, exactly. And they should have. I don't know how B-Rabbit shouldn't have got it. And he walked out. I was like, I'm mad. And he walked out. All Papa Doc and them had to do was stop it and snuff it out. Then y'all could have stopped it. Damn tight ass wife beater on. Clowns. I was mad right then. I was like, they didn't let him get a Rocky Balboa off. See, that should have told everybody we was acting from the gate.
Yeah.
All right, man. We tripping. Melzak is gonna be in here at 4:30. Monty, I'm just saying, look, Friday night is set a perfect tone, and the NBA will again, the bottom line of things is right where they want you to be. Also, too, I mentioned Malik Neighbors. Let me throw that in because I don't want to necessarily spend too much time, and I don't know how much you care about this, Impress, but our guy, New York Giants, again, the young and very talented receiver. And when you start thinking about all the things going on with the Giants, how exciting it's probably going to be their next campaign and all of this. But you don't like hearing a guy coming off the ACL and knee situations and the reconstructive efforts, if you will, there. But to hear about another procedure, perhaps some sort of cleanup. I always hate hearing about a cleanup. Surgery. I never like hearing that. So you wonder, Josh, did we look up the Giants draft? How many receivers are we bringing to camp? You know what I mean? In high order, because I guess that's the only question. If they have done that, everything is, I guess is all is well, but you don't necessarily like hearing that.
All right, looking at the Giants team depth chart from Giants.com, as soon as the internet cooperates.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's the correct path. Is that? Oh yeah, this would be good that you put that.
Here we go. Now it's popped up depth chart. Let's go to. Let me get rid of these. I just don't like these pop-ups.
Question: why would you go to depth chart? I guess since we're here, I might as well go ahead and play.
Okay, looking at the roster.
You're not going to look at this year's draft?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the draft. I'm talking about who's on the roster right now, including the draft picks.
Why would we be doing that? There is no roster right now, Josh. Yet they're going to have one in August. There'll be a new one.
All right.
They'll take a whole new
here
picture.
We go.
There'll be a new picture and everything.
All right, looking at the Giants draft picks, of course, they got Orville Reese, linebacker. Look at the line.
There we go. Linebacker. Anything in a WR? Are you finding anything with WR
okay,
next to it?
Got lineman, cornerback. Oh, here we go. Round 3, number 74.
Hey.
Mackay Fields, wide receiver, Notre Dame.
Okay, we got something going. Any more?
Okay.
Any more of those? People
That's
that
it.
do that.
No.
Only one?
Only one wide receiver.
Not going to do it. Doesn't look like a lot of preparation. I don't know. We have to check our young man because I don't remember a lot of conversation about people, pass catchers at Notre Dame. I know one guy, yeah, and he's the running back. They got him. He doesn't play there. I just say, I don't know. I don't like hearing that. I just say, you hear the Malik Neighbors. You wanted to hear something about on track to be, week 1. That so.
Yeah. And I ain't heard nothing about Scatterboo either.
That's what I don't like. That's also what I'm not cool on because that was the thing. Like all the talk. I'm like, but isn't Scatterboo on? I don't know.
Last time I saw him, he was getting thrown around a WWE ring or something.
But you know what? I think, okay, let's say though, you probably do have to draft around that because of the style. And no disrespect to him. That's not necessarily playing him or saying anything about him in a negative way, but you know what I mean? But that's you might want to load up and be able to deal with what could happen over a very long season, especially with a guy very determined to make contact.
Right.
versus, you know what I'm saying, versus evaded. So, yeah, but anyway, Malik Neighbors, more activity with the doctors and surgeons, people. All right, Black and White Sports, we're in here on a Things to Do Thursday. Melzak going to be in here at 4:30. So, Impress, we're going to come back with you, man, and we're going to come back in here and get to that because we got the Walleye situation. 0-2 is not good, and I have to find out, Josh, exactly how we got here. I thought that everything would be okay. Haven't you seen any of this?
I haven't seen of it. From what I heard, Fort Wayne was slightly better.
Well,
they were first place in the Central, so they're basically slightly favored.
No, well, see, we can't go on rumors and things. That's why we'll talk to the guy. We'll talk to the man, okay? 4:30, Matt Melzak, Black and White Sports. Get back in here. It's like Things to Do on a Thursday. Sit tight.
When the game ends, the real talk begins. Black and White Sports with Andre of the Savages. ESPN 100.7 The Ticket. ESPN 100.7 right now, traffic.
Usual slow going for this time of the afternoon, 475 westbound from 75 to Monroe. Also an accident, Alexis between Harvest and Secor. That's your Cumulus Toledo right now traffic.
Looking for a good deal? Mama Mary's Pizza will give you 20% off any online order when you use the promo code BUCK20. That's BUCK and the number 20. We know sometimes you're just too tired to make dinner. Mama Mary's Pizza makes it easy and easy on your wallet. There's something for mom, dad, and the kids. New York style, authentic, thin crust pizza, salads, subs, pastas, and more. Get 20% off at MamaMarysPizza.com. Just click menu, then deals, then $1.20. Mama Mary's Pizza in Holland on Airport and Holloway.
You want some boiled peanuts? What the f- is a boiled peanut? You want some boiled peanuts? What the f- is a boiled peanut?
customers. We want to honor all our veterans with an everyday veterans discount that is bigger and better than ever before. And now you can save up to 10% on clothing, footwear, fishing, archery, knives, and optics, and 5% off firearms, ammo, suppressors, reloading, and safes. These discounts will allow veterans to save big all year round. Remember vets. Come to your local Finn in Ashland, Middleburg Heights, Canton, Boardman, Milan, and Rossford and save big.
This is Black and White Sports on 100.7 The Ticket.
Things to do Thursday, 100.7 FM. That's ESPN here in the Glass City. Welcome back in here, back to business. And as noted before we left, we got a situation, Glass City, going on. And as it pertains to our postseason projections and plans, it looks like it has gotten relatively dicey suddenly, and it's funny how it can go. You know what, Josh? We're going to have to start adding it was all good just a week ago. It seems like that might be the theme here and what we could have heard today, because it was because we weren't necessarily moving around, I guess. You know, being at a standstill was our best bet. Suddenly, we find ourselves in an 0-2 hole coming back in here, ECHL. Now the focal point, folks, and as we mentioned, the one and only voice of the Walleye joins us as all guests and calls brought to you by the Bellamere Suites Wake Up Call line. He is the one and only Mr. Matt Melzak. Good afternoon, sir. I know you're traveling. It's game night. You're on the move, as it were. And, Matt, I wish I could be coming to you under more excited circumstances and more of a what can we do to keep this momentum going sort of conversation. But, as it were, now I find myself in an SOS distress sort of mode. So if you could, sir, help me out. What exactly, because I know what you said, again, these special teams, you know, it was going to be difficult to gauge. You got a mirror of the opposition here with this matchup, et cetera, et cetera. Matt, what's going on, man? It feels like it's a lot more serious than I got an even matchup here.
You know what? You can certainly make a case if you would like, and obviously you're feeling that way. I look at it this way: you've got a goaltender on the other side that has stopped 70 out of 71 shots in 2 games, and I know we saw this in round 1 when Dryden McKay got hot. Now you have a goaltender in Samuel Janssen who's hot, and he's done very well in 2 games. I mean, but still, that means you're having 35, 36 shots a game. I think if you're doing that consistently, it takes a Herculean goaltender performance to beat you. And, how long can that go? I think that's the question that, you have to kind of throw out there is, is he able to do that again tonight? If he does it again tonight, then Toledo's probably in a really big amount of trouble. Or is he going to start to come back to reality a little bit? Because it was a guy that during the regular season, Toledo scored 4 goals a game on. And, it was one of those where, he had an .868 save percentage. It's in the upper 90s right now. So is he going to keep doing that, or is this going to turn around and, get back to the normal of what it should be? And that's the $1 million question. It's the problem with the short series too. Even a 7-game is still short. In the end, is you don't have that time to have the cream rise to the top. Sometimes if you get the right goalie gets hot, you could lose a series, as we did last year in the playoffs and the finals. And now you're down 2-0, and you look at it, and that's the most standout number, is that 70 saves and 71 shots.
Talking to Matt Melzak, everybody, voice of the Walleye. We got a serious situation, down 0-2. Matt, again, in this power play, you're 0 for 9, man, in the first 2 games here. I'm just wondering, perhaps, what's going on with these guys? Because, again, The Walleye, man, these guys are a confident bunch. Let's just call. I mean, it's a proud group, and they felt as much as you talked about the yin yang of this thing, man, and these guys and an even matchup and so forth. I feel like they still go into this matchup and this series at this time of year, even against the Comets, feeling like they are perhaps the tone setters, if you will. They are a team who is deserving of an attitude, so to speak, that right now, obviously you can't have. There's a certain level of humility that has to go in here, even though, like you said, you have a man playing lights out and all these things are happening. You have this unique series. We've talked about the imbalance of the schedule, if you will. I'm concerned. I'm just wondering, you're there, Matt. You have a pulse on the team and what have you. Do you feel anything when you're going in here and you're on your way here and you're thinking about this? Obviously, I could ask you, well, what do they need to do, Matt? And what one player needs to set the tone in the first 5 minutes and all this jazz. But what is the heart, Matt, of this group? Now, can you speak to what is their energy actually like and a real mental tenor?
Well, this is a team that knows how to win, and they're going to come out and they're going to do the things they need to do to try to win. I don't think anyone who watched Game 2 2 days ago would think that they're a mentally checked out team. I mean, you go back and you look through 2 periods in that game. It's 1-0 game. Fort Wayne's leading, and if you're just watching the game and you're not breaking it down and you're not looking at advanced statistics and you're not, if you're not even looking at the score, you would say Toledo is certainly ahead in that game. And, the disallowed goal where, they waved that off, and then even when they looked at it, they didn't get the call right, which was, pretty crazy, because that was, one of those things where, like, it was a goal, but they didn't see it that way. So, you kind of got a bad break 3 minutes and 20 seconds into the game that would have given you the lead. And we don't know how that game would have played out if that goal stands. Maybe Toledo gets 2 or 3 more after that, and the game ends up being theirs, and now we're talking about a 1-1 series. I still think this is a very close series, and sure, it could happen where Fort Wayne wins tonight, they win tomorrow or Saturday, and the series is over. But it's not going to be looked upon as a series that's that short, because these 2 teams are still very close. And I think, would anyone be surprised if Toledo won the next 2? And we talked on Saturday, and it was a 2-2 series? No, I don't think anyone would think that. Probably not even Fort Wayne would think that. So I think you're still got a good shot. And I think the guys, they obviously have to win probably tonight. You have to look at tonight as basically a must win, because you don't want to fall down 3-0. But this is a team that won 23 games during the regular season on the road. They won the first game in Bloomington on the road to go up 3-0. They know how to win away from home, and they just need to do it tonight.
Matt Melzak, ladies and gentlemen, Walleye up against the wall, as they say, or back against it. And so I say, Matt, if it's me, if I'm Coach Pat, I'm just, fellas, let's let it hang out. What are we in here tripping about? What? It's, you know what I mean? Let's let it loose. You know what I mean? We're not going in there with any of that on our back. Now, that might be a little delusional, but at the end of the day, I feel like that's how you go out there and skate on these guys tonight, sir.
Well, I think I hope you're right. Yeah, let's get it done, and then maybe we're talking next week about a possible Game 7 or a Game 6, and we're talking about a close series again.
As we will, sir. Well, listen, man, I always try to keep it brief, man. I know you're on the road. We want to keep it safe, sir. Have a great call tonight. Voice of the Walleye, Mr. Matt Melzak. Everybody, always appreciate the time, sir.
Thank you much. Have a good day, guys.
Indeed. Yes, sir. All right, we will be back, people, to finish it up. Hour number 1, fastest $120 in sports. We're moving. There are just things to do on a Thursday, and there are other NBA items. We'll get Impressed back in here, man, and keep it moving. Sit tight.
Want wagers that win? Weekdays will walk you to the window. Tune into Best Bets on Black and White Sports, 4 to 6 p.m. on ESPN 100.7 The Ticket. ESPN 100.7 right now, traffic.
Usual slow going for this time of the afternoon, 475 westbound from 75 to Monroe. Also in Acton, Alexis between Harvest and Secor. That's your Cumulus Toledo right now traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
Looking for a good deal? Mama Mary's Pizza will give you 20% off any online order when you use the promo code BUCK20. That's BUCK and the number 20. We know sometimes you're just too tired to make dinner. Mama Mary's Pizza makes it easy. And easy on your wallet. There's something for mom, dad, and the kids. New York style, authentic, thin crust pizza, salads, subs, pastas, and more. Get 20% off at MamaMarysPizza.com. Just click menu, then deals, then $1.20. Mama Mary's Pizza in Holland on Airport and Holloway.
Here's a great way to save money on your prescription medications. If you take Viagra or Cialis, we can give you a way to pay as little as $2 a pill. Compare that to prices as high as $60 per tablet. Call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. We offer 24/7 service and always free delivery and confidential packaging. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
Relax.
Whether you're an active person that wants extra supplemental movement, maybe you want to keep your legs active while you work, or you wish to support your therapy at home, or you just want to build strength, increase your mobility, flexibility, and boost your circulation, Ellipse was made for you. Power-assisted exercise that frees your mind to enjoy your favorite seated activities. Just plug it in, place your feet, select your speed, and relax. Ellipse does all the work for you. Call now and order Ellipse.
Is on the rise. If you're looking
pizza. 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, but you don't have to. The 24K Life created by financial performance coach Derek Gant, giving you high achievers the system to master money, mindset, and success. Are you ready to rise? Visit 24klife.org. Live 24K.
Black and white sports.
God don't trust your feelings. He don't give a damn about your feelings because some days you don't feel like doing good. Some days you don't feel like going to work. It don't make it right. You still get up and go to work. Them feelings. You find some kind of way to tell yourself, get on up out this bed, because them feelings don't mean nothing. You know you got bills to pay. It's a lot of people relying on me, and I ain't going back broke. So sometimes I want to quit. Sometimes I want to keep going. It's an emotional ride. Put that to the side. What do you know? I go with what I know. I'm blessed to be here, and I got to make the best of it, even if it don't feel good.
You're listening to Black and White Sports, where there is no gray.
Oh, wait. What the hell? What the hell? Oh, back in here. Things to do on a Thursday. Hey, Josh Burnham. We're here doing this Black and White Sports. We like this. Get our man Monty Features back in here. I am Andre of the Savages. Thank you guys. We're going to shut down hour number 1 here. Before we do, though, just a few more minutes. 100.7 FM. It's ESPN here in the Glass City. Also, let me thank some people while I can. My people at the Bastard Nut. Yep, we say so what? Formerly Rachel Mike. We come through, we say excite. You know, everything is right. Treats, delight. What? Profit spike. All right, let's go. Who else? What you got? Josh is next. Butler on the flex. You know, he is the author. We call him the master barber. Yep, write it down. Josh, next in the place we are the Kosh. All right, man, I'm tripping. When I start saying words like Kosh, let's go. It'll get wild. Also, thank you to my friends at Consignment Home Interior. Formerly, the people who would help you change your decor without spending more. And guess what? They still are. So, 6925 West Central. Thank you one and all for letting us do it. Black and White Sports. All right. So, yeah, Impress, hold on. Let's do this because we have to look at last night, man. As we said, you know, the Cavs last night, dangling up in the D. Shout out. Josh, you got it, Josh. Thank you, Josh. That's right. Yep. So we went over that situation. And I think it's important that we go over what happened last night, Monty, because we did agree with you. First of all, we shouting out Monty with the Cleveland call. We like that. We told you to go ahead and take the points if you wanted to play it safe and do it conservative. But we said, you know, money line, we like the Cavs. Also, Josh, what was our other look?
Yeah, I think let me take a look. I think you had a major league game.
Yeah. Then we went Cincinnati.
Minus run line, minus 1.5, correct?
Let's see. Oh, did we go? Did you have minus 1.5 on there too? But I don't know. That's what the banner says. My bad. If that's what we wrote, I just knew we had a money line. I know we said I like them to win the game. You know what I mean? So that's it. That's the key. If we got that, if we got both of them, then great. Because they went crazy though. I know the score was something astronomical. It was out of order though. Well, I forgot what it was. But
well,
it was
the Reds
stupid.
they lost 8-7 in 10 innings to the Nats.
When then what game I said they win like 15-1?
They won today 15-1.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay. All right. So last night they ended up losing. So then okay. So we didn't have a plus 1.5. Are you sure it wasn't plus 1.5? Maybe that's what it was, Josh. Then what was our other one? And it was Minnesota and Colorado.
Yeah, Avs won 4-3 in OT.
And we went money line Colorado? Or did we do anything? I felt like we was doing too much Minnesota on this. What did we say with the hockey game? Hold on, let me check this. Because I feel like we did a ticket. We did 3 plays, Josh. Why is this not sounding right? I felt like we blasted this. Monty, you wasn't on here, man. It was at the end.
No.
Yeah, man, we had 3 plays, and we went and said, this is a winning situation. We went on the air and said it live. Hurry up and get it in. And now Josh has mysteriously gotten, I think he has 6 days of banners confused. We throwing scores out from different days, so it's out of order. We'll trace it.
All right, well, looking at the odds from the money line was Colorado minus 229.
Yeah, we know. What are you going to that for? We know who did we pick yesterday? That was the thing.
And we took the Avs. I feel like we took the Avs, or was it over? I remember asking you too. That's what it was, Josh. We asked you what was the over and under of the games, and you
Yeah,
went over on the NBA
over on the NBA.
and under. And I know you missed the hockey game because the hockey game, like you just said, it was 4-3. So we know
Yeah,
that.
and
So
I
yeah,
went under with the NHL.
yeah, and that. Well, I know that. And did you say over with the NBA?
Yeah, over on the NBA.
And what was the score? What was the basketball game again?
117. Let me double check. Okay, looking at it real quick. It was 117, 113.
Oh, okay. Damn. All right. Well, there we go. I still felt like we won. I got to see this because I felt I had the Cleveland. Like I said, I had the Cleveland. I feel like we did a 3-team on this damn show, and that was something that was worth being arrogant about, Josh.
Yeah, I thought the 3-2 was like you had the 2 major league games that include the Tigers and the Mets, and the NBA was the Cleveland. That's why.
Did I put the Tigers in that?
Yeah,
I feel like I was afraid to put the it was the Mets. That's right. Okay, Mets, Reds, and the Cavs.
Yeah, that was the.
That's what. Okay, hold on. I still don't think, Josh. I swear, I feel like it was Mets. I don't think we included Cincinnati. That's what I feel like on what I actually put in. So you guys have to pardon me on that, but I'm going to find out, Josh. I'm certain of this because I wanted to come in and dance around about it. But all right. So anyway, let me go to. Can I get to the Big Perk thing? Monty, let me get this in here, man, before you get out of here today. Because see, this that I have a problem with. And then when you talk about this cat, everything is hate. Everything is hate and whatever, this and that, and we're not respecting him and this, all this, and who is the best and all this. Okay. Now they sat up here all season and went on and on about this man being old and 43 and how you can't, do this and build this and and be realistic, and it's Luka's team and all this, man. And we understand that it didn't go right. You know what I'm saying? Laker Nation, all right, yep, we look crazy again once again, and it didn't pop. So now we got a conversation going on that's too Aaron Rodgers-y for me about him playing in the Laker thing. I didn't think he was going to be a Laker anyway. I just think things have gotten too tense. I think too much stuff has happened. I don't think the people are really cool at all. I don't think the season was that. I think if they maybe could have won or done something, maybe some people would look at things in a different light, whatever, what have you. This is where I was already at. But see, I want to point this out because this is stuff we get on TV. And now people are really you're going to hear people really making a case, because when you say that somehow the Lakers would be making a mistake, see, it's when they start that talk.
Right.
Here, Josh, let's let him hear the clip. Let's let the people hear our man, Big Perk. And this is where we was just starting to feel like Big Perk was an advocate for, again, appropriate thought. And then I get this.
To win in Game 6 Friday night. Finally, LeBron will play another 2 years and end his career with another organization. Dribble, pass, or
I know you seen the video circulating of me handling the rock in my driveway. Damn it, I'm gonna dribble on this one because we don't know. I believe that LeBron James can play another 5 years. I think he's gonna play another 2 years. But I do believe that it is some motion there that he plays another year with the Los Angeles Lakers. And if the Lakers were smart from what LeBron James displayed this past season, they got to highly consider bringing him back for one more year to pair alongside Luka to give it another shot to see if they could get back to the promised land.
Nah, Doc. No, that all of that went out the window when Jeannie made her statement. Oh, that's gone, and they don't need him. They'd be better off signing Reeves than they would LeBron.
Agree.
They'd be better off signing Reeves than they would LeBron. Perk then took a couple too many perks.
See, Monty, that's why I can't do it. It's back to the Michael Jackson videos now.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to say something. They want me to say something. For radio people, we started the super pronounced extracurricular dramatic pause is necessary because there's no comment. See, the comment on that would be acknowledging somehow that that's a legitimate statement, and I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
They said the Lakers. It should. What? If that's the case, here's what could happen. Why don't the Lakers just go ahead and get like 4 people? If it's so valuable to, let's see. Let's let everybody, all these other people in the league get this man, and let's just do that. Matter of fact, you know what, Big Perk, thank you very much. On behalf of the management and staff of the new ownership Lakers group, thank you very much for setting the market for us. Thank you. Monty Features, thank you, brother. Good job. I'm sorry. Again, I didn't have anything for Big Perk. There's nothing for that. He was dead serious. He must be back on the Twitter, and he's following him again. That's all I could come up with. Because that's not what Big Perk was doing. It was not that long ago. That's not something he would have been saying. But
Right, no
thank you
doubt.
very much, sir. We get back at it, man, on a Friday. All right, appreciate you, brother. Indeed.
Have a good one.
You too. Okay, everybody, we come back. Hour number 2. Out of your damn mind. I'm supposed to do this at 5:05. Man, I'm out of stuff, man. Break it. We got to go in the locker room on that.
His Store and More, the Man Superstore Studios. This is 100.7 WQQO HD2 Sylvania, Toledo, a Cumulus Media station.
Whether you're an active person that wants extra supplemental movement, maybe you want to keep your legs active while you work, or you wish to support your therapy at home, or you just want to build strength, increase your mobility, flexibility, and boost your circulation, Ellipse was made for you. Power-assisted exercise that frees your mind to enjoy your favorite seated activities. Just plug it in, place your feet, select your speed, and relax. Ellipse does all the work for you. Call now and order Ellipse.
Here's a great way to save money on your prescription medications. If you take Viagra or Cialis, we can give you a way to pay as little as $2 a pill. Compare that to prices as high as $60 per tablet. Call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. We offer 24/7 service and always free delivery and confidential packaging. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
Being said.
with the return of Vito's Taco Pizza. Now back with a new kick, packed with flavor, loaded with fresh toppings, and served with all the fixins you love. But only for a limited time. And if it's not a taco pizza you crave, grab one of their other specialty pizzas like the pepperoni trifecta, Uncle Vito's sweet barbecue chicken, or their award-winning Mediterranean pizza. Find your nearest Vito's Pizza and order tonight at vitos.com.
78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Even high earners, over 60%, have under $1,000 saved. But a new money move is making way. Welcome to the 24K Life, created by financial performance coach Derek Gant. The 24K Life is where high achievers master their money, sharpen their mindset, building unshakable confidence and wealth. If you're done with the survival mind and are ready to thrive, visit 24klife.org. The 24K Life. Be your best. Get the best. Leave nothing to chance.
Afternoon driving, Glass City. Black and White Sports, 100.7. You know, we work diligently with our partnerships, affiliations, and associations. And we have a really cool one where, get this, we help homes across Ohio and parts of Michigan stay Wi-Fi and stream connected for less than they thought possible. Now, you may ask yourself, how exactly is that happening? Well, this is the part of this that I like sharing. It's an exclusive offer. It's available now from our friends at Rocket Internet. They're offering you 600 megabits per second for only $9.99 per month, or a gig for $19.99 per month. You see, this is a no-brainer. Now, both plans include Wi-Fi equipment, unlimited data, no contract, and a 3-year price guarantee. Visit GetRocketInternet.com or call 567-3-ROCKET to check availability and sign up. Rocket Internet is a prepaid internet service. Professional installation is required and a one-time activation fee applies. Offer subject to change or may be canceled without notice. Visit GetRocketInternet.com or call 567-3-ROCKET for full details.
Welcome back to Black and White Sports with Sav Sinclair.
Good afternoon. My name is Montgomery Blair Sibley. I'm the attorney for Sinclair. First, the National Press Club rents space. They do not condone or endorse the views of the people who rent the space. And as a result, he's allowed to get up and say what he wants to say. Mr. Sinclair is going to make a brief statement. You will be provided copies of that statement once he's done. And after that statement, he will entertain any reasonable questions and try to answer them. The procedure for doing that will be this microphone, because we're being recorded and we want to make sure your questions are recorded so that we get a full question and answer for the video that's being made today. That said, Mr. Sinclair?
You're listening to Black and White Sports, where there is no gray.
Hour number 2. Fastest buck 20 in sports. We thank you, Black and White Sports. 100.7 ESPN here in the Glass City, the ticket. I am Andre of the Savages, my man Josh Burnham in here alongside as always. We are live from the South Cumulus Studios. Traffic jam portion of the program. Mama Mary's Mozzarella Minutes, as we often do. Are you looking for a good deal? Josh, most of the people are.
We always are.
Indeed. You know, Mama Mary's Pizza will give you 20% off any online order. Oh, yes. All you have to do is click menu, then deals, and enter Buck20. That's BUCK, the number 20, because you know it's the fastest Buck20 in sports. So with that, we help you make that decision that is not only easy on your brain, it's easy on your wallet. No need to make dinner. Call Mama Mary's Pizza, or again, better yet, log on mamamaryspizza.com. Enter the promo code Buck20. Mama Mary's Pizza, authentic New York style thin crust pizza in Holland, Ohio on Airport and Holloway. All right, let's continue, Josh Bizzle. Here we go. I was eating chips, Josh. Sorry. Quick snack. Okay. See what we're doing here. All right, hour number 2. Appreciate you, man. Impressing here. Thank you very much, Matt Melzak, coming through. Walleye. Walleye get back into the series tonight, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, this might be their last chance because if they fall behind 3-0, then they really have a next to impossible road to toe, because while coming back from 3-0 to win a best of 7 is happens more in hockey, it's still very rare.
No, absolutely. But here's the thing. I'm trying to give myself a way to kind of outthink the reality and the obvious, which, is probably a futile effort. But nonetheless, I'm thinking about the Bison, who were also in an 0-3 situation. But we're not there yet, Josh. We don't need to think like that. As I mentioned, Walleye back in series tonight, 2-1. But you got, I think it's important. It's almost more important that they go to Fort Wayne and get this game, though, because then I don't know that they would believe, even coming back home. I think it would probably be, more along the lines of what you said, a little bit more morbid.
Mm-hmm.
If they were, I don't want to see that, because I don't know if Toledo would handle that well. I just don't know. When was the last time they were down 0-3 in a postseason situation?
Look real,
because that might be a difficult task, Josh. Where and who would that opponent have been to have pushed them to that brink, that embarrassing brink? It's not the brink of an 0-3, but we're not there yet, folks. So let's not, overstate it. But should it become a reality, I think it could be relatively overwhelming.
Here's something interesting. Based on available playoff records through May 2026, the Toledo Walleye have not recently been down 0-3 in an ECHL Kelly Cup playoff series.
Hasn't happened. See? Ridiculous. The notion has been absurd for a long time. But hey, that's what's on deck tonight. Comments. So thank you again. All right, Matt Melzak in there was driving. We try to keep it brief, man, when he's driving, because people, that's kind of, it's weird.
Yeah, those roads to Fort in Indiana are very treacherous.
Well, it's just 24 dipping over there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's not that. I mean, they've done a lot of improvements, Josh. They've expanded the highway. You know what I mean? Widened it.
I heard they recently upgrade from stone gravel to pavement or something like that.
Yeah, Josh, it's been pavement for a long time. Yes, that's a very highly traveled route, interstate route, Josh.
Yeah. I'm just pulling your leg.
I know, Josh. You're a cad. We've established that. This we know, sir. You got anything on the NFL schedule release, though? Do you have any of that? That seems to be the talk of everybody's town. I don't care. Why do people carry on about stuff like this? And then the notion that I had to hear about an hour's worth of television dedicated to the speculation surrounding games where we don't know exactly, especially with the fickle nature of the NFL, so on and so forth, who would be playing on a lot of these future projections. But I see it, Josh. You have it.
Yeah, well before.
What is it? Oh, I guess what is this 8 p.m. stuff? Yeah, that's the official release.
The official release when they released the whole Monty. But we do know that on Thanksgiving, the Lions will be playing the Bears again in Detroit. to kick things off. And followed by that is the Cowboys and the Eagles over in Jerry World. And in the nightcap, the Rams will host the Packers.
So that's not a bad
Actually,
Thanksgiving day.
actually, they have a Thanksgiving Eve game.
Yeah.
That's the very first one. Rams Packers, November 25th.
Oh boy. So we're just gonna go into the furthest extreme to overdo this thing. And still they take over the NBA on Christmas. Damn. Okay. But yeah, so schedule everybody. And most of you have seen a lot of it, I'm sure. You know what I mean? They've been talking about it. They've released and leaked a lot of dates that are, very popular and relevant teams and so on and so forth, and projected a lot of those spots. But again, who the hell is on the roster and active in Thanksgiving week? Why does that matter to you? If who was on that list? Let me see, Josh. I know you said Packers were Lions on it. Let's say the Lions are by Thanksgiving. So we're November. That's at least 8, 9, 10. We're getting the 8, 9, 10 games on. What if they've won 3 times in the season by the time Thanksgiving comes? You see what I'm saying? That's the only reason why I'm not clear, but I will give them credit because it's a masterful job at keeping the conversation alive where the NFL is concerned. And so if you're not recognizing that, then that's missing the whole point. But other than that, I'm not sure why you all are so concerned with who's playing who on October 13th.
Oh, to round out the Thanksgiving Day, we do have a Thanksgiving night game at 8:20. It's the Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills at NBC.
Now, go back to the open, because I did find this one little nugget interesting. The projection of the Chiefs. What's up with the opener? Go to the start of the season, like literal the opening night, I think. I don't know if it's a Thursday night, what night. It might probably turn into a Wednesday night. But who opens the season or the first game?
All right, looking at the NFL Week 1, 2026, you're talking about the Thursday night game, I presume. Let's see. Week 1. Right now, they only have 3 listed right there. That's 49ers Rams in Week 1 at 8:35 from Australia. And September 13th, Cowboys Giants. And that's all we got so far.
Huh. What are the Chiefs doing? Can you find the Chiefs?
Broncos Chiefs, September 14th.
See? So that's an opening. You know why I'm saying that? Josh, do you realize why I'm asking that? Why do I point that out? Because that's suggestive to what?
What are you suggesting?
Well, if they play that game on the 14th, and that's the opening week, right?
Yeah, that's the opening week, Week 1.
Yes. So scheduling a game like that, and you said that's in the television window, that's going to be something that's broadcast, right? You gave 2 other games that you would think they probably intend to show those to the world, perhaps on that day. Is it? And maybe I'm tripping and not thinking of it as a triple header or something.
Yeah, September 14th is a Monday. It's a Monday night game.
Okay, so that's the only one.
Yeah, that's the only. They're doing.
Okay,
they're going
so
back.
even better. Okay, perfect. That illustrates my point perfectly. If that's the case, and they book that, that's a really prime time slot to be putting the Chiefs on without Patrick Mahomes. Are you getting that, Josh?
Yeah, I think they're hoping he'll be ready by Week 1, but I'm not sure.
Well, of course they're hoping, Josh. I can see it's not necessarily connecting on the circuit board here. What I'm trying to say to you is someone must know something or is thinking something that suggests that there's a likelihood that something must be happening that says he will probably be in the lineup that night, or they clearly had an opportunity not to schedule that there. Does that maybe help click it better?
That and maybe the Travis Kelce factor.
Nah, that's not that important. I get it, but no. That's an accessory to the rest of the crimes. No. It's never going to be about that. No. This is all about 15. So if anything, if you're a Chief head at all, you should perhaps be enthused by that news with respect to the schedule that they're getting ready to drop at 8 o'clock. 877-909-1007. I mean, why do people care about that? Like this again, and we know I'm only saying it from the standpoint of the fickle nature of the NFL and the week to week of people in and out, not necessarily to the sickening extent of the NBA, but and that's why I'm saying, like, so maybe that game that sounds good, and then watch this. The killer is this. It's all based on what happened last time we saw these people. Very strange to me that this has been a point of emphasis for today's calendar. So I'm sorry that I'm not necessarily on board to that extent.
Yeah, I'm really not on board with the whole making the NFL schedule release a big deal. I mean, they tried to. I mean, I get it with the Super Bowl, the draft, and that sort of thing. But
Sure.
But the schedule release—that's a little bridge too far.
It is, no, Josh. Yes, because you're a logical man and you understand that, Josh. That is exactly it. But the people, by and large, are illogical. They are, in a lot of cases like this, for those who find this supremely focus worthy. That is strange. Okay, let's come back, Josh. All right, it's the fastest buck 20 in sports. We're going to talk to Sad Man shortly. Get back into it. We got Stanley Cup conversation. Again, his Cavs. We're going to talk about this, man, the Detroit thing last night. Got to come back to it. And I try to show you guys and point out all the time how this thing sort of moves and how it works when we say bottom line is probably important to consider the betting community when you're thinking about everything you're thinking about and watching and enjoying. Okay, Pistons and Cavs did an artistry last night, so we will come back. All right, sit tight.
From the sidelines to the headlines, this is Black and White Sports with the one and only Andre of the Savages on 100.7 The Ticket.
The Legacy Golf Club offers a picturesque setting for your wedding ceremony or reception. They're in
Original Toledo-style margaritas. Carmel's Mexican restaurant is a Toledo favorite, featuring an amazing Tex-Mex menu, over 16 different flavored margaritas, and a fully stocked bar. Follow on Facebook for daily specials at Carmel's Mexican restaurant.
Join Andre of the Savages weekdays 4 to 6 on Black and White Sports.
Here's a situation. It doesn't matter that it's the Browns. What was your role? Why make this pick? What's that phone call? Haslam, what is this about?
ESPN 100.7, The Ticket. Black and White Sports.
Yeah, so talking about supporting people's businesses, is that what you want?
Yeah, of course. So every photo shoot we've done for the brand I've done it with somebody I know. And I'm gonna continue to do that. And like when I needed music for the show, like the intro and stuff, I reached out to somebody I knew. Shout out to Paul, Freak Sinatra. Then when I was gonna do the show, period, I reached out to somebody I know. Shout out to Sab. Of course he does way more than videographer, but I knew that's what he was into, so I reached out to him. So yeah, for sure, that's always how it's gonna be, for sure.
You're listening to Black and White Sports, where there is no gray.
All right, man, we continue. 100.7 Black and White Sports. We rolling. Oh man, it's been horrible, Josh. This was a horrible display. We got to try to finish this thing much better, man.
It's one of those days.
Yeah, it was just crap. This was crap. We should admit it. It was crap. It's all right to say. 1 out of 1,000. You don't necessarily do crap all the time. It's something, but today is crap.
Well, we're dealt with the cards we're dealt.
Yeah.
Especially this time of the year when sports becomes.
It's not really anything happening tonight. That's just NBA. You know what I mean? We're still busy. Everything's not dead. What I did do though was neglect the comments because the fellas were chiming in and hitting us up. And I really could go back to this thing. I'm upset that Monty is gone because we really didn't take it far enough, and it wouldn't have been a match. We talked about a situation of a doubleheader when we tried to make the analogy of NBA giving us an electricity on Friday night with the double, which, in itself is probably worthwhile television. I would expect that it's going to be. I don't think our teams and these players will let us down. But we were trying to kind of make that comparison in what we would have said in some of our more noteworthy outfits in the history of high school basketball around here, and just my reference. And I think we had it with the opening game with that St. Francis boys, with the Colin Parker boys. We had that and Scoops, Scott boys and John White and them cats, right? So that was kind of the early frame. We didn't take it far enough for the second one. And that's no disrespect to them 99 boys at Libby or any of that, or, B Rob and the St. John's, but nah, that ain't it. That wasn't it. No. On a doubleheader like that, let me think. Because I feel like, Josh, I need to get this right, and I need to have this on tape in case I need it to make sure people don't think I'm out of my damn mind. That wouldn't have been the nightcap. You got to have, first of all, the player that probably got the most attention. So that's where we got to get Jim in here on this.
Yeah,
you got to have Jim. You got to have Jim, because when Jim, he turned it out. They came to see from miles around. You know what I mean? Way before it was LeBron-ish type frenzy, not necessarily sport. I don't know if it was. I don't know though. Jim had his day. It was super duper. It was electric, to say the least. But you got to have them in the nightcap. And so, see, the opponent is where I was drawing I don't know if it's a relative blank, but that's where I was having the issue, because I'm like, I can't just pull another Scott team. I could have went to some of the 80s Scott, but nope. There's a few teams, again, we start getting, into these 90s and things. There's a few, but then if we take it back though, and if we stay there, see, I could go in years, again, back when Deion Thompson and these boys was playing. So you start looking at it like that. And I was going to keep it old school, Josh. Give me an opponent. Who would play Jim's 89? Because we're going to have to go with them. We got to, let's go. Who would be playing the 89 Mac Men in the nightcap at Centennial Hall after the Scott St. Francis with the Scott 90 Scott and the we'll just call it for this intended purposes because a lot of people, when I don't want to keep identifying in particular guys, but let's go with the 83 St. Francis, right? This is the first game.
Okay.
So who was in the second? Who's the fourth team in my doubleheader at Centennial Hall? 877-909-1007. Get a gift certificate to Mama Mary's if you give me something. Matter of fact, too, you know what we forgot to do? He went to Mama Mary's. We owe Monty a gift certificate, Josh. We got to give Monty Features a Mama Mary's because he gave us a pick. It was the clip. It was the thing.
All right.
So make sure I don't forget that.
I'll make sure that I'm probably thinking like as someone playing in the nightcap against Newcomer. How about any one of the Vilbus teams from the 70s?
Well, see, I'm glad that you went to something. See, and you went to Vilbus. That's the thing. Just by doing that, Josh, you got an award from a lot of cats in town are loving you right there. As soon as you went to that. But let's move this along real quick. Get them in here, all right? All guests and calls brought to you by the Bellamere Suites Wake Up Call Line. It's Andy Sanzada, everybody. Cleveland Cab time. Andy, we're trying to pick this up too because today's show was crap. Yeah, man, we played like crap. Like,
is it because I wasn't there? Is that what?
Well, it might be some of that, but you usually come in later anyway. It's not your fault. You usually come in. You like Rivera. You come in and do the reliever. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
This one is definitely on. It wasn't even Flavor with Melzak because I had to get him out of there quick. He's driving to Fort Wayne, so I don't like necessarily doing that when guys are literally driving.
They're down 2-0 in the series, right?
Oh yeah. Correct. So the conversation but I didn't know what to do because he already felt like he was irritated by that too, though, which I understand. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it's how explainable is it? It's deep right now.
Yeah. Your season could be over after the next two games. So,
and tonight you really say to yourself, it's likely over. This is tonight is do or die for them because of the opponent. And I understand that hockey is obviously more likely to recover from that type of depth or deficit. We get that, unlike basketball, but not with a team like not the Comets, not Fort Wayne. And see, because them and the Walleye, you see what I'm saying? That's like it's one of those. You see what I'm saying? And no, they lose this game in Fort Wayne. We can go ahead and
I'm just curious. What did Matt say was the issue with the last two games?
Their goaltending. I mean, what is always the case, and again, but they're not being successful on power plays. They're over. You know what I'm saying? It's like over 9 in the damn 2 games, and just uncharacteristic things happening right now with the Walleye. And you figure too, it's weird. I would imagine if and I kind of geared it this way because I always wonder what's going on mentally with these guys. And Matt sees them. He's watching the entire game. You're getting to read body language. You're starting to see, what are guys really doing in terms of the space as they realize, oh crap, we are not able to really do what we are usually able to impose. Mm-hmm. That's the thing about the Walleye. You see what I'm saying? So I would imagine, they knew they were winning that coming home. They just had to figure 1-1. We getting up out of here. There's no way they imagined going back here, you see what I'm saying, and being in this circumstance. So I just wonder with all and see, this is a successful, a proud group, even though we got some new faces here and there. But again, the guys that have been around and the turnover that's here, that's still, or layover rather, these guys understand what's really on the line. And if you have any cognizance of the history and just how difficult this struggle has been for the Walleye, you know what I mean? Just climbing. It's one thing to never be on the mountain, Andy, but to keep climbing it and being, able to see it and almost grab it and not able to grab it. And now,
like the Edmonton Oilers the last 2 years.
So there's a possible early derailment here. Mm-hmm. But again, tonight, it's just vital tonight. I said it though. I still say I think the Walleye get back in it tonight. I just feel like it's one of these. It's a gut check time. Day, night, moment, etc. Who's what, Hawk, everybody, whoever is anybody, if you're these guys, this is going to be the night.
Yeah.
Just to reset it. You deal with what happens back at the Huntington when we get there, but that should kick in. Who are we No, ain't nobody coming in here whooping our ass twice in this building. You can cancel that. See, you can take that. Then I can say, if I'm Coach Pat, I can say, yep, this is what I can sell them that. I don't give a damn if y'all, win the series or not, fellas. But tonight, we'll tie this up at 2-2 tonight, though. You know what I mean? Just on the strength of they're not doing that to us twice.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and the way you sell it is, they came in and did it to us. Let's just go in there and do it to them.
Yeah, and I'm getting ahead, but that's assuming tonight you're going into Fort Wayne, you're going to win this game, and you're getting that game. I want to put that in the air, and let that be known. But once you do come back, because they got this wonky schedule too, if you're hearing what I'm saying, because they had to bounce back and forth here on this. So there's unique energy in that it's, in terms of some of the peripheral things that maybe aren't typical. And so, but whatever, man, different things. So I like it, man. The intrigue is on ECHL. Really, as much as we talking about our Stanley Cup stuff, our man Andy Sanzada's here, boys and girls, hopefully to save us, because the show has been crap. This is a show of assery. Just complete ass. I want to smack the camera off the stand and all of it. We'll be deleting this. We'll probably have to delete it. We like to hide our bad work. We're going to just delete. We're going to do like BCSN and just cover it up. Act like it didn't happen. Unbelievable. Hold on. Can I do this a quick mention? Something good, Josh. Can I get the Lisa Leslie photos? Can we mention that? I just wanted to mention it and let everybody know the statue's going up. Lisa Leslie getting a statue at Crypto.
Okay.
And we appreciate that. We like that. Matter of fact, that's a go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and applause for that. Absolutely. I like that. Lisa Leslie. Absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Well deserved. How many? 2 or 3 championships, I think. Right?
I want to say 3.
Yeah, I think it was 3.
I think I want to say 3. But listen, just the inaugural, the first jump ball, everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just salute Lisa Leslie. I mean, again, Olympic success, everything that goes with just all of it. When you ask a young woman to represent something in the finest fashion, and she is not bad on the eyes either. Just everything, man. I've always just appreciated Lisa Leslie, period. Just me personally. And of course, the LA thing and all of that, of course, you can just add that. But no, very, very excited for her. I'm proud of that. And I'm happy that that's what's happening. And again, you know what I mean?
The thing,
girl dad territory too.
Oh yeah. The thing I always liked about her was she just let her game do the talking. She was always so humble, and she just let her game do the talking.
And kill Lisa Leslie dunk on you, all that stuff. I'm dunking everything, just things she will never really get credit for. You know what I mean? Just in her pioneer, she will get some of it. But again, a certainly a trailblazer that I'm not sure will be properly, recognized in most conversations for the rest of time. But it's great that now we have that as a marker and certainly the symbol that signifies it's not much to talk about. It ain't a whole lot to talk about. When we say Lisa Leslie, let that be that. All right, Andy Sanzada. So listen, we're going to take this break here in a moment. But before we do, let me get you back on the page of the Cavs, because I don't know if we would have even been able to tell you that they were going to put 3 in a row up. But I wonder how concerned are you? And we will talk about this, people, when we come back. 877-909-1007. That the Cavs are under more stress than ever with a game 6, even with 3 games of what might be considered very impressive, successful display. Why does it feel like it's really do or die for the Cavs? We'll come back. Andy Sanzada's live from Cleveland. Sit tight.
Sports, raw, recalibrated, unfiltered. You're listening to Black and White Sports with Andre of the Savages.
There's always something happening at Danny's Cafe. From lined up line.
500 outdoors. Create your perfect wedding day at the Legacy Golf Club. Exquisite food, amazing service, and just a short drive away on U.S. Highway 223 in Ottawa Lake, Michigan. Find out more at playlegacy.com.
Black and White Sports, weekdays from 4 to 6 on 100.7 The Ticket.
We on? Okay. K. Jones, welcome to it. Afternoon style, black and white.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
you, brother.
Look.
Yes, sir.
And tapped in. You was commentating boxing on the TV on BTSN, sir. Look.
Oh, man,
Your
respect,
show is
brother.
Amazing. Your show is amazing. I like how we got Sadman on the show. E, Josh, are all lit every day. But look, I really wanted to call though.
ESPN 100.7 The Ticket. Black and White Sports.
I told y'all, motherfucker, I was one of God's chosen soldiers. I told so many motherfuckers that I don't expect you to believe me. I think you think I'm crazy, and I like that. What was in the motherfucking comments somebody showed me? Because, people love to show me the bad comments. They said, these two girls said, well, where his wife at? My wife is in her house praying I come through, even though we divorced.
You're listening to Black and White Sports, where there is no gray.
Okay, final time. We're going to try to do something strong around here. We have been horrible and ass the whole day. Okay, let's make it clear. Black and White Sports, welcome back. Final time. First and foremost, let me mention this too. Don't forget tonight, it's Thursday, wine tasting and testing and talking, congregating, fellowshipping happens in the store. Get in there. It's underway now. Began at 5, okay? And that goes on until 7 p.m. Shout out to our friends at the Joseph's Beverage Center. And real quick, too, Powell's Beauty Supply. Don't forget them. Over 30 years of service to the community. And I didn't say them earlier. My bad, Mr. Powell family, everybody. I think we were going through some mentions earlier, and I feel like I dropped the ball there. But it's understandable today, Mr. Powell, because it's been asked. The show has been asked. Everything we've done here, I feel like I would like to take full responsibility for being, again,
What the hell is that?
the leader of. I'm going to let that. I don't really want to attach any more.
Don't go there.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm asking. Andy Sanzada is here, everybody. Okay.
Finish strong. Come on now.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. A couple of things, sir, that we can actually tackle here before we roll out of here. But first, let me have you address your guys first and foremost, Andy, because as I said, heading to the break, I feel like the desperation conversation, oddly enough, applies to the Cavs, even though we've been watching Cleveland do pretty much what I feel like you all have been asking, Andy. I mean, the job has gotten done. I don't know if it's always been completely to everyone's liking, but for the most part, you went home, they delivered. But I suspect last night you have to be very pleased with, or can I say, what else would you maybe ask for here? You know what I mean? To get this thing done.
Well, for them to close this out tomorrow night, and we'll go into the X's and O's tomorrow, but they got to stop the turnovers. You cannot give up 20 points off of turnovers in a half and get away with it more than one game. I honestly don't know how they won last night. I'm still trying to play that out in my head, how they came back and pulled that off. Because there were a lot of things that weren't adding up. I'll just leave it at that up until the end of the game. And then miraculously, they score the last 9 points in regulation, and then they just completely owned Detroit in overtime. But if I'm the Pistons, I'm licking my wounds right now because Cade Cunningham had the best game of the series and you lost. And that's concerning if I'm JB Bickerstaff, because I know Duncan Robinson was hurt and he didn't play last night, and Jenkins did a great job stepping up for him. But who else is going to help him? Because they have to have help if they're going to beat Cleveland in Cleveland. I agree. I think the pressure is on the Cavs because they don't want to put themselves in a position to be in a Game 7.
Right.
you know, look, they haven't lost at home for a reason. They have the best crowd in the NBA. They really, truly have a home court advantage. And they galvanize off of that every single time they play in front of those fans. So I think Harden and Mitchell are starting to figure this thing out, Sav, and it's happening at the right time. Last night, Harden stepped up. Mitchell had an off night, even though Mitchell delivered in overtime. You know, that's what you expect. Evan Mobley, you know, statistically, if you look at his numbers, they weren't outstanding, but he did what he had to do when he had to do it. And that's right. And that's what we ask of him. You know, same thing with Jared Allen. His numbers weren't that great, but he was huge late in that game, defensively and in overtime. And I'm sick and tired of hearing the crying coming out of Michigan right now about the no call. You know, he tripped on his own feet. Just watch the replay in slow motion. He tripped on his own feet, and then he got bumped. Okay? He didn't get bumped and then tripped. He tripped and then got bumped. Therefore, no foul. Therefore, shut the hell up.
Well, it's funny how that goes. Talking to Andy Sanzada, everybody. Andy's in Cleveland, and he's a very serious Cab supporter and anything Cleveland. And so it's interesting how we can absorb that moment, because most people are, of course, taking issue with a very instrumental call last night, everybody. But don't we often see it? And we have to spend this Monday morning quarterbacking, and people go crazy about it all. And it's just, for me, I just try to tell you guys, especially on this show, it's a bunch to do about nothing. Andy, it just went your team's way on this one. And when we were talking about, you know, I don't know how this happens or that happens. No, it was always going to happen that way. And then, like you said, the 9 points at the end, during not really being involved late in the game, because you can't risk it. You can't risk it. That's an oddball, because, see, this is what throws it off. People like those who don't want to believe what I try to tell you is happening. It's because you can't figure out, like, would guys not necessarily be playing hard and doing. It's not necessarily that. It's like a combination of all things. It's like each individual person has a slate that I'm feeling like they run through. And tonight, it's like it's Harden's night to be lazy. Tonight, it's an aggressive Harden who's accurate from long range tonight. But that goes with, but we're going to take out a Kevin Durant over here and pull him out the game and take him out of it completely, because guys are still playing. They still play hard. They still give you the effort. They still have the talent. All that's happening, but it's geared and triggered and riggered and all kind of things around in ways. Referees, obviously very instrumental. We could just go on and we could go on and on. But this is what the situation is. And no matter how many times I say it, I just say enjoy it, Andy. That's all. Last night, it was just your boys who were the benefactor of the situation. That's all it was. You know what I mean? And Cleveland was winning, because back to Monty. And Monty picking that. Shout out to Monty Features again, man, in here today, because his pick was one, and I only kept talking about it because it's not something people would bet. Their logic says there's no way Cleveland is going to beat Detroit 3 times in a row at any point in this damn series. You see what I'm saying? You're not going to get a person with common sense to believe that. And that is the essence of how the gambling keeps people off balance and becomes a difficult prospect to navigate, ladies and gentlemen. That is probably a very simple and mundane sort of elementary way to describe that, if I can. You see what I'm saying? And so that's all I say.
The other thing, to your point about the gambling side of the game, you know, when you have 20 points off of turnovers and you're only up by 8 at the half, that's a little suspect to me. It feels like you should be up by 16 or 15 or 20, you know, and the fact that the Cavs, and look at the last 3 games. If you go back and watch the last 3 games, the third quarter has been dominated by Cleveland. And it's not even close. Like, we're talking, they've been outscoring Detroit by a total of like 30 points in the third quarter alone.
New game. It's a Brett. Yeah. For gamblers, there's a new game at the half.
I sent a text to you last night that said, does Donovan Mitchell know we play 2 halves?
Yeah, he
Because
does.
he's always there in the second half and on overtime, but he's not really there in the first half.
Because it's too much.
And-
I can't output
right.
because he's a 30-point output guy. And
Right.
that's disruptive to the mathematical scheme. And this is all, people, but it's very disguisable. That's all I'm trying to tell you.
But here's the thing. I think for the NBA, I think for the Knicks to have a challenge, it's Cleveland. I think Cleveland poses the most threat to New York. I don't think Detroit poses a threat to New York. If they come back and win this series against the Cavs, kudos to them for doing that. But I don't think that they have anything that scares the New York Knicks right now, the way that New York's playing. I think the Cavs have the lineup and they have the ability to go small, and they have something that can mess up what New York's trying to do. So, from that standpoint, that's why I think the Cavs end up winning this in 6. And, hey, let's give a shout-out to Coach Graffine, because he's the one that said Cavs in 6, right? Yep. I mean, if anybody knows basketball, it's Coach. So,
he was right on. So far.
Here's the thing I will caution everybody about is the heart and the will of this Pistons team. And I think you're going to see that on display. This is not going to be easy for the Cavs to close it out. It's either going to be one of two things. And I know this sounds obvious, but I'm still going to say it anyways. Cavs either win by 1 or they win by 30. There's no in between tomorrow night. It's an all or nothing for the Cavaliers if they want to put Detroit away.
Well, with that, then what you do, people, you bet that take the Pistons and the points on this. Mm-hmm. That's what you do. But real quick, let me say this because I'm in the comments, fellas. I didn't get this, and I should have came back from the break. We're getting ready to get out of here, man. Talking to Andy Sanzada right now. The question for this is for Rick. Rick, if you're still in here, man, what we did, nobody gave it to me anywhere. There's no text message, 877-909-1007. We needed a fourth team for the doubleheader at Centennial Hall, comparable to our analogy with the NBA tomorrow night with this doubleheader we got going on and the electricity. And I don't even think the NBA thing would rival what I was trying to put together. And again, those 83 boys at St. Francis and the Scott boys in 90, 80 was my fourth. And I was putting the question. So if Rick is hearing this, that was the question. Shout out K. Jones. K. Jones said the 07-08 Cowboys. I don't know, though, Jones. That was good. That's the 5-second state championship boys. And just for that alone, Jones, just the fact that they lost in 5 seconds, that disqualifies that group. And I know no disrespect to Dub and everybody else, all them boys. Let me see. Who is that? That's Wells, Sandra's, Dub, Tony Jones. I think if I'm saying it, I'm trying to think who else is on that, man, and boys, man. But that was a polling this, I think. Was CP on that too? Man, but then that group, but just the fact that they folded in 5 seconds because I was in the huddle, I heard the plan and nobody was listening. It was just a lot. If you guys saw it, I did a thing. There's a piece I have. I think it's still posted on YouTube. I have to figure out what I called it. But look up Libby Cowboys. It might still be. It's got to be on there somewhere. I had a couple of those back then, but I just remember, and we did a thing. It was like a 30 for 30, and they lost the state. It was like 5.2 seconds to go. All they had to do was stop these boys. Just shut them. We out of here. We done it. We did it. Man, these fools gave up a damn layup, a walk-off layup, Andy, from the foul. And they stopped the ball. The boy pulled up and dumped off from the foul line to the big man, and he slapped the glass on us and left. And them boys left. And we was just standing in Columbus looking crazy. The tears. Oh, yeah. It was horrible. I'm sorry, man. A couple of seconds, though, before we do get out of here. Stanley Cup stuff, man. Let me get over here real fast on the way out. And obviously last night, what do you want to say about it? Listen, because this is let me say this. Hold on. No, Josh, get that off for a second. Get that off of there. These guys, I saw something that I hadn't seen that made me appreciate what I think's up right now. And I don't know if anybody's going to beat Colorado when this is all said and done. I don't know if they did a thing. Put it this way. I saw my man shot the puck off the wall and advanced those so my man could grab it right there and align for but he takes the puck and my other cat, who's the cat that hit the shot? Josh, Andy, the game winner.
At the end?
Yeah.
Kulak.
Okay, well, Kulak came around in position waiting for the pass to go ahead and, man, I saw that. I was able to see that with my eyes what happened. And that now I'm respecting that. From now on, I don't know what you do with that.
The thing to respect is the fact that they just beat and came back and beat a very good Minnesota team. Minnesota was very good, but Colorado is that much better. And I just think that we're destined to see the Hurricanes and the Avalanche in the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah, I think you're right, sir. And the odds makers kind of agree. So we'll buckle up for that. That's going to be one hell of a series, though. I don't know if it's ever going to be. It's going to be a bunch of unders.
It doesn't matter if it's Anaheim. It doesn't matter if it's Anaheim or Vegas. Colorado's winning that series in 5, regardless of who they play.
Yeah.
They're going to have no problems with either one of those teams. Vegas doesn't have the speed to compete with Colorado, and Anaheim has the inexperience and the youth to not understand the moment. So whatever happens in that series, it doesn't matter. Colorado's walking in to the Stanley Cup final.
Okay,
tonight,
I'm seeing
tonight, I'm taking the home teams. I like my Sabres and I like Anaheim to force a Game 7.
I'm with you, Andy. That's what it is. I'm glad you said. Andy just gave you the plays, ladies and gentlemen, right there. What can we do? Is there anything, Josh? A couple seconds, man. Let me see if I can find some WNBA to go along with that. You heard Sam, man. We like Anaheim. You like the Canadians tonight. Or, you like your Sabres. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm sorry. Andy likes Buffalo. And he's right. I think he's right because I've been very Montreal-y, everybody. I think Andy is right. So on the way out of here, even out-talk the damn theme music. Let me give you somebody. WNBA, here's the look.
How about Lynx and Wings?
Yeah, that is it. No, it's Minnesota. We got to go. You go Lynx here. Go Lynx here. 3.5. Really, Lynx win this. I know it's in Dallas, but they win this. Lynx cold like I thought, too. I'll have to talk about it. Tomorrow, we'll be back on it. All right? Sam, man, appreciate you, man. Monty Features, thank you very much. Josh Burnham, Matt Melzak. I am Andre of the Savages. We will be back in here tomorrow, Friday, try to finish this thing strong, man, because today it was crap. All right? Enjoy this work tonight. We got the picks in for you. Please never cheat on your wife and handle this doggone business today like we didn't.
Where we're at now, it can't be what is the end going to look like. It has to be we have to take care of business today and then tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
His store and more, the Man Superstore.